Hey everybody, it's me here. And in this video, we're going to talk about what cryptocurrency is and how it works. This stuff is all over the news, and a lot of people have questions about it, but most people don't understand exactly what it is. So stick around because we're going to break it down. So first off, what is cryptocurrency? Well, in short, it's digital money. It's money that only exists online. It's not controlled by any government, and it's not controlled by any bank either. And instead, it's based on something called a blockchain, which we'll get into in a little bit. There are a ton of different cryptocurrencies out there. The biggest one is Bitcoin. Then there's Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Chainlink, Cosmos, Algorand, Ava, XV Chain, Basic Attention Token, Maker, Uniswap, Chainlink, Balancer, Sushi, Wrapped Bitcoin, Synthetics Network Token, Kyber Network Crystal, Polygon Matic, Sandbox, Tel Finance, AAVA, Compound, Yearn, Finance Curve, Phantom, Voyager Token, Thorchain, Reserve Rights, Thorchain, Yearn, Finance, DIDX, and Stablecoin, AM. There are hundreds of them and more pop up every single day. Some of these cryptocurrencies have different names because they're based on different blockchains. Now, some of the most popular ones include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano, just to name a few. But basically, there are thousands and thousands of these different coins. Now, why was it created in the first place? Well, it was invented as a way to allow people to make payments directly to each other without having to go through a bank as the middleman. Also, it allows anyone in the world to make payments to each other, anywhere in the world, no matter where they live. And it does this very quickly and for a very low fee. In fact, some cryptocurrencies do this almost instantly and for fractions of a penny. So it's an easy and cheap way to move money around the globe. But wait, if I give you 20, you give me $20, then I have your $20 and you have my $20. That's not really much of a payment system. That's just passing a 20 back and forth between each other. Yeah, but let's say you wanted to pay me $20 and you didn't trust me and I didn't trust you and we didn't know each other and we didn't have any idea whether or not the $20 that you were giving me was real or fake. If we could both agree that both our $20 bills were real, then it would be easy. But if either one of us had counterfeit money, well, then we might get ripped off. It's the same exact thing with cryptocurrency. Let's say you wanted to send me $20 worth of Bitcoin and you didn't trust me and I didn't trust you. Well, if we both agree that the Bitcoin that we're sending each other is real, then we're good to go. But if either one of us has fake Bitcoin, well, then we might get ripped off. Okay, so now we know what it is and why it was invented. But how does it actually work? So, all cryptocurrency transactions are verified by a global network of computers. All the computers on this network have copies of every transaction ever made. And when you make a transaction, it goes to all the computers on the network to be verified. And once the transaction is verified, it gets recorded on something called the blockchain, and we'll talk about that in a second. Once the transaction is verified, it's recorded on the blockchain and it's done. There's no taking it back and no middleman like a bank to make sure that everything is legit. Now, of course, there are some bad actors out there who try to mess things up, but we'll talk about that later. For now, though, you should know that cryptocurrency transactions are verified by a bunch of computers, then they're recorded somewhere. Alright, so what is the blockchain? The blockchain is essentially a big old list of all the transactions that have ever been made with a certain cryptocurrency. So for example, Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency that was ever created. So all Bitcoin transactions are recorded on the Bitcoin blockchain. Transactions are grouped together in something called a block. And once a block is filled with transactions, it gets added to the blockchain. Each block is linked to the previous block, creating a chain of blocks, hence the name blockchain. And the blockchain is kept on all the computers in the network. And this makes it almost impossible to tamper with. Since every block is linked together and everyone in the network has a copy of it, if someone tries to change one block, all the other blocks would also have to be changed and everyone in the network would know about it. Now let's take a look at security. How is it secure? Well, it uses something called cryptography. Cryptography is the use of math to keep data secure. Think of it like a really strong digital lock and key. Cryptography keeps cryptocurrency transactions safe from hackers and fraudsters. It also keeps track of who owns what and prevents people from spending money they don't have. Next, let's talk about why it's important. Why even use it? Well, first of all, it gives people who don't have bank accounts a way to manage their finances. In many parts of the world, people don't have access to traditional banking services. This makes it hard to save, invest, and borrow money. Cryptocurrencies allow people to participate in the global economy without a bank account. And second, it allows people anywhere in the world to make payments quickly and cheaply. As we mentioned earlier, this is especially important for people in developing countries where traditional banking services may not be reliable or affordable. And third, some people use cryptocurrencies as an investment. Now, while it can be profitable, it's important to remember that cryptocurrency values can rise and fall dramatically. So always do your research before investing. And last, let's talk about the risks. As we mentioned earlier, cryptocurrency values can be very volatile, meaning they can change a lot in a short amount of time. This means that you could lose a lot of money if you're not careful. There are also some scams and frauds out there. Every year, millions of people lose money to scammers who pretend to be cryptocurrency investors. So it's important to be careful and do your research before investing. All right, so let's do a quick recap. Crypto is digital money that exists online. It's based on a technology called blockchain, which is a way to keep track of transactions in a safe and secure way. Crypto transactions are secure thanks to something called cryptography, which is like using really strong digital locks and keys. And crypto gives people who don't have bank accounts a way to manage their finances. It allows people anywhere in the world to make payments quickly and cheaply. And some people use cryptocurrencies as an investment. So if you want to learn more about cryptocurrency, we'd recommend checking out some of the resources in the description below. What do you think of cryptocurrency? Do you use it? Have you ever used it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.